In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Chinese F1 circuit. It's by far one of the most technical circuits, and it's very, very, very unique. It's one of those tracks that you can't attack super hard, like say Imola, for example, and get involved in curbs and high downforce. You need to be very patient. You need to be very progressive with all of your inputs. So let's jump into it and have a look at this circuit together. For those of you new to my channel, my name is Martin and I started racing when I was 12. In the sim world, I've raced and beaten some of the best drivers in Australia. I worked as a driver and performance engineer in Formula 3, and I developed my own race strategy simulation software for Formula 1. I raced in KZ2 at the highest level and got pole position in my first ever race. I specialize in the open formula category and now have my own course and website where I can share my 20 plus years of driving experience with you, which I'll put a link to in the description below. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today we're going to be looking at the Shanghai F1 International Circuit. Like I said before in the intro, this is one of the most technical circuits on the calendar, and there's full of long corners here. So you've got long corners of decreasing radius, increasing radius, and it's a big track as well. So like downforce is very low, and for that reason it's just low grip and you need to be very progressive. Like I said before as well, it's totally different to those tracks like Imola where you really want to get stuck in and get involved with the curbs and hook up curbs and ride and compliance and bumps. All of those are like in one category, like Imola, Monaco. This is totally different. It's more like a Monza in a way, just the way you need to be progressive and get good exits. It's all about good exits. Just keep the car moving forward, getting on throttle early and minimizing rear tire life. It's certainly a rear limited circuit, which means that the rear tires are going to go first before the front tires. So let's bring it up on the whiteboard and have a look together, and maybe that'll help us run through the track. So like I say, there's some big straights here. So there's a big straight here, that's the pit straight, and one of the longest straights on the calendar, the back straight. So for that reason, you're running low downforce. So if we take a look at the technical corners together, here's one of them. This is a decreasing radius corner. Decreasing radius, long corner. So that's the first one. We're straight into it. It's one of the longest corners on the calendar, by the way. Now this track reminds me a lot of Malaysia, because Malaysia, you had the decreasing radius here. You had this sort of turn forward, then you had a left and a right into a double apex. But Malaysia didn't have increasing radius corners, which we do find here as well. So it does remind me a lot of Malaysia. And if you remember that track, or if you're familiar with that track, similar sort of thing happening here, but it has less grip than Malaysia, I'd say, because of this long back straight where all of the downforce comes off the car. So you've got a decreasing radius long corner to kick off the lap. Now you do touch the apex here and then you touch it again here. So you could consider this like a double apex, but I wouldn't really put it in that category of double apex. What you want to do in decreasing radius long corners is just build the brakes on and then trail the brakes off. And it's all about how you manage the brake load against the steering load. So if we look at the brake trace, for example, it would come on progressively and then it would come off progressively as well. And then you'd turn more and then less as you go through this corner like that. So I've also got a reel on my telemetry versus Sebastian Vettel's telemetry on this track. I am going to leave a link in the description below to that reel, and I'll just pop it up here on the screen as well so that you can see that just quickly how it looks. But my telemetry versus Sebastian Vettel's telemetry, it's pretty much bang on identical. And that's because the understanding of downforce and how to combine these braking and steering elements in decreasing radius corners is exactly the same. So that's something you're going to need to do and learn how to do here. We are going to jump out on the track in a second, have a look at that, but it's that gentle braking, increasing steering load coming out of the brakes, the trail braking. That is the most important thing through turns 1 and 2. So then you're building traction out of turns 3 and 4. And again, the most important thing is you're gentle with your traction, your right foot. You're opening the steering in the right way. You're getting nice clean exits. So it's a combination of short shifting, having a softer rear as well to help you get that traction out of turn 3. Heading down now to turn 6, it's just a short straight, heavy braking, straight line braking. And we haven't mentioned the brake balance, by the way, but I would increase the front brake balance into this corner here because the steering wheel is straight. You've got a lot more braking capacity, so you can hit the brakes pretty hard into here. And again, traction is an issue on the way out. Both of these traction zones, the one that we mentioned, turn 3 here, and this one, you're accelerating from very low speed. So downforce is not active. It's the total opposite compared to accelerating out of, say, turn 10 in Melbourne after that fast 9 and 10 chicane. When you get on the throttle there, bang, you can hit it hard because downforce is active. Out of these 2 traction zones that I've circled in red here, downforce is not active, so you need to accelerate very slowly, very progressively. You've got a fast left-right here, and I like to use a lot of engine braking on this track entirely, which means I click the downshifts very aggressively because like in turn 1, for example, you're braking and turning at the same time, and there's just low grip. And this is a fast corner here, so I don't want to use the brake pedal too much. Again, about progressive braking, I'd rather use the engine braking, and it just helps the car brake in a more gradual way. So now we reach the second technical corner on the track, which is the double apex corner here. And the key with double apexes is that you need to be very patient in the middle of that corner. So I'm just going to draw for you what a double apex would look like. You can see it there, but essentially it's like a square. So it'll be like that and like that. And the shape that you take through here is obviously something like that. You enter this double apex, so your apex here and apex here. This is the true definition of a double apex corner. Now, the most important part of this corner is bang, right here in the middle. When you're not accelerating or braking, you're just carrying sufficient speed in that it just naturally sweeps you out into that point. And then you put throttle on very progressively and you can drive out. So here is where you just want the car to rotate in one go. And like I say, you just want to wait. You want the car to be perfectly balanced front and rear so that you've carried enough speed in and naturally the car just rotates on its own. That's what you're looking for. You don't want to be doing anything in the middle of that corner like more throttle or more brake or anything. You're just waiting for the car to settle so that you can then drive out. So patience is something you need to have in these types of corners. So that's the second technical corner here. That's a double apex corner. So we've got decreasing radius, double apex, and we arrive heavy braking here. So again, brake balance goes forward into this corner, and then it takes you into this really long, frustrating, increasing radius corner. Now, the difference between decreasing radius and increasing radius, I'm going to label that for you here, is that decreasing, you're braking into it, and increasing, you're accelerating out of it and you're unwinding the steering, whereas decreasing radius, you're putting on the steering. So another long corner, again, another traction zone, such a frustrating corner to build the throttle. All of the short shifting and traction management has to happen out of this corner. It's another area where you have low traction. Even out of here, you're turning and accelerating at the same time, like out of this double apex here. So traction is, again, massively rear limited circuit, and traction is a killer here. So this corner goes on and on and on. And you get to sort of third, fourth, fifth gear through it, and you kind of get your foot flat here. So it is frustrating, but trust me, it's worth it to just be patient. And yeah, this is not a fun track where it's all about the driving. It's just about relaxing, being patient, driving progressively, having as much full throttle time as possible. So you send it down this back straight, and it's one of the longest straights on the calendar. And here you're just looking for your braking zone as you approach the hairpin. So there's a curb that kind of starts across here. It's an entry curb. And now you've got the most downforce coming in here, doing about 300 and something kilometers per hour. The most downforce, the brake balance can go forward the most. So if you're running, say, 54 into this turn 1, you could get away with, say, 56 down the back straight here, front brake that is, into the hairpin, heavy braking. So you're using more brake pedal in this situation than you are the gears, because the gears are going to give you rear instability. You don't want that. You just want straight steering wheel, straight line braking. Bang, you hit the brake pedal hard initially, which is the total opposite of what you would do in the decreasing radius corner, which is progressive braking. So downshift, trail obviously into the corner. And again, we've got another painful traction zone on the way out from low speed, accelerating from second or third gear. another traction zone. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 key traction zones. Now the last corner, again, I like to use the downshifts. I think it's 2 downshifts and just go in, very gentle braking. It's all about carrying speed onto the pit straight. And there you go. That's a lap of China. So I know I made a mess of that diagram, but I hope like the one thing I wanted you to take away was you've got 4 technical corners. You've got the decreasing radius, the double apex, the increasing radius, and the hairpin. So I've got a corner secrets cheat sheet on my website, which is going to tell you the key focus area for these technical corners. So the only ones we're missing are constant radius long corners, like you find in Hungary. S's, which you find in Silverstone, Suzuka. And what else are we missing? Long corner decreasing, increasing, constant, hairpin, double apex, S's. And am I missing one? Hairpin, double apex, increasing, S's. I need to write them out. We've got increasing, decreasing, constant radius. They're the long ones. And then we've got S's, double apex, chicanes. There's no chicanes here. So that's the other technical. It's like, yeah, chicanes are normally everywhere. So this track's got no chicanes. And like I said before, like with the Imola example, it's not about riding curbs or compliance or getting stuck into the track with like bang, 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 and, you know, connecting with any of the curbs. Nothing like that at all. It's all about just gentle traction. So no chicanes, no S's, and no constant radius long corners. There you go. All right, let's jump out on the track now. We're going to do the slow lap first, and then we'll do the quick lap together. Alrighty, here we go. Let's jump out and have a look at this track together slowly. So we are going to start in the last corner. Again, I like to do 2 downshifts, a little bit of this curb, and then again, it's tricky to get the throttle down, but it's always good to keep the car straight for a little bit. It's the shortest run to the line, which is there, and then you get better acceleration and better traction as well. You can always bring the car across a little bit later. All right, so now we feed into our decreasing radius corner. So yeah, start to downshift here and collect this curb here, and you're turning and braking at the same time. But there's a point at which you maybe can open the steering a little bit, do the braking, and then come out here, and then bang, that's your second apex. Now this corner is really technical because you'd be tempted just based on the curb to sort of start to turn in as you see that curb. I think the apex is a little further around, so I like to come out wider and then touch the apex, and I find I get better traction and I shortcut this whole section as well. Again, the steering wheel straight on the exit. Don't follow that blue line. Keep it straight here, and then bang, brake balance forward, and you're clicking down gears here. So this is a fairly routine corner, but again, traction is important on the exit. So the most important thing is that you don't maintain what you see this steering lock and try to turn. Instead, you open the steering, go straight. Again, you can always turn the car later. Your focus and priority is getting traction, getting to full throttle as quickly as possible. This corner's flat, and then you just want to lead in here with a few downshifts and hug this corner. It opens up a little bit, but then bring the car to the right for the double apex. So if you've done this well, you'll sweep out to this position here where you're just waiting and the car just sweeps through beautifully. And again, throttle and traction. All right, so we got the short straight here, brake balance forward, 1 click, braking at the curb at the 100. And again, you don't want to brake early here. I'd much rather you brake deeper. And don't touch that curb where you see it. You want to kind of go there. And that gives you a freer run into here. And again, try more traction, more turning and accelerating. The painful run onto the back straight is here. It's bumpy as well, so tough to get your foot down. And you got DRS. Leave the brake balance in the forward position. And then you're looking for a breaker point here. And you're going to go down 6 or 7 clicks here. So braking at the curb. Again, you'd be tempted to turn in early, so you don't want to do that. You want to turn in, make these nice shapes. Alrighty guys, let's go for the flying lap now. We'll start at 54 and I'm going to call out any issues or things or changes. Okay, so here we go. Alright, DRS, steering wheel straight to the line. Bring it across and we're going to downshift and brake same time here. Got to be careful when you shift because the shift actually breaks your traction. Here we go. Okay, so this is going to be flat. And then we're going to click a few gears. Perfect. Heavy braking. Whoa, a lot of rotation there. Yeah, just a lot of rotation into that first left-hander. So what does that mean? Probably want to put the brake balance forward into there a little bit more. So let's do that here. Got there nicely. Open the wheel so you can get your foot down. 2 gears here. And straight to the line. There you go. So there you go, guys. I hope that video helps you. It's a 31.0. If you have any questions or comments about the Chinese international circuit, as it is very technical, then please drop them in the comments below and I'll see you in the next one.